The Smiths and Morrissey have inspired generations of music fans ever since the release of their first record in 1983. Today, just as in the 1980s, thousands of students and teenagers are retiring to their bedrooms and listening to the literary lyrics of Morrissey and the jangly guitar of Johnny Marr. Their songs have spawned an intense breed of superfans unique in modern British music. We meet some of Liverpool's most prominent Morrissey obsessives to discover why the Smiths mean so much to so many. Jürgen Wendelen loves Morrissey so much he became him, playing gigs worldwide with his Smiths tribute act, The Smiths Indeed. Originally from Antwerp in Belgium, Jürgen moved to Liverpool 12 years ago. Tonight, his band is playing Chester, their first show in England since their US tour. So how does this obsession manifest itself, and where does it all begin?
A school friend of mine on a school trip handed me his earphones and said, "Listen to this," and it was Sweet and Tender Hooligan. And I thought it was fantastic, and he took the earphones off me after that one song, and of course I needed to explore further, and it never stopped. It's the reason why I'm doing this, why I'm in this tribute band, because I'm so interested and fascinated by everything associated with the Smiths and with Morrissey, and with the others too. But no, I wasn't there. I didn't experience it firsthand. I certainly didn't have the chance to go to any of the gigs, and I wasn't there on release day of The Queen is Dead, for example, as many other fans were. But I'm fascinated by what it must have been like. So you read everything, you read all the books, you read the magazines, you listen to all the recordings, the B-sides, etc. But then what else do you do? What more can you do to get deeper under their skin, if you like? And I happen to have a voice that's quite similar to Morrissey, so when the opportunity came along to sing in a Smiths tribute band, I thought it would be interesting for me.
Dickie Felton is an author currently working at a museum in Liverpool. His first book, The Day I Met Morrissey, compiled stories from fans telling of their encounters with their hero. We asked why the Smiths remain so important to so many people.
Well, they're a bit like the Beatles, I feel, like they changed music. They weren't just a band that just turned up and released some fabulous albums. They inspired people. So I think you'll hear the likes of, everybody from the Stone Roses to Oasis to the Killers, bands like that, all say Morrissey, the Smiths, they were the group that. So I think it was that moment that they, the music of the Smiths inspired other people.
They haven't really dated. The music is as vital today as it was then. But why that is, I think, because they were so incredibly urgent. They were talented, of course, and an interesting set of four individuals that created the music in the first place. But they had something to say, and they did it in a, some would say, arrogant way, but it was, I think, an urgent way. They wanted to tell something. They wanted to be out there and have their music heard, and they felt they felt they were important, and they were. And people embraced them.
He's just being himself, and I think people just respect that, and there's not a lot of other artists who have done that. But I think that Morrissey's music means so much to people, like people who've gone through maybe difficult times in their lives, and people who've gone through fantastic times in their lives. The music of Morrissey's always been there, so I think it's like you feel like you know Morrissey, and that's why people want to meet him.
Just after punk, people realised that anybody could be in a band and play music and play songs, but of course not everybody's remembered, and there's only a few key bands and the Smiths definitely one of them.
And I do feel it is like following a football team. You know, if you support Liverpool or Everton or Man United, you know, you follow your club across the country. You follow your club. You're loyal to your club. You wear the shirt. You have a tattoo with Liverpool FC on it. And I feel as though Follow Morrissey is exactly the same thing. You just attached. It's like in your blood. You can't really do anything about it. It's like it's almost like there's no element of choice.
So how does a Morrissey superfan satisfy their obsession?
I've seen him. I lost count after about 68 gigs. So I think I'm near 70s or 80s. I'm not really sure. I've lost count now.
I think 28 times. I'm talking, of course, about concerts that I've been to. They are meetings in a way, especially when you're on the front row, and perhaps if your eyes meet at one particular point, it does feel like a meeting, you know. So in that sense, yes. But no, we've never sat down to tea or porridge. No.
I've seen him across the UK and been into Europe to see him, France, Spain. But the furthest I've been to see Morrissey was in 2007. I went to Waukegan, which you've never heard of, but that's a place a couple of hours outside Chicago. And I followed him on the tour for a couple of nights. I went to Waukegan in the middle of nowhere, and then I travelled on the Amtrak for 7 hours to go and see him in a place called Royal Oak, which is in Michigan, and watched him play there.
So if Morrissey is so important to his fans, how do they react when somebody else performs such meaningful and personal songs?
People love these songs that much, the Smiths. I mean, you know, there are times when people will run on stage and grab Jürgen like he's Morrissey, so the line between the reality and the tribute is totally blurred then. You know what I mean? People just get lost in the songs and forget that it's a tribute.
Yes, people do reach out to shake my hand. It's strange, but it's understandable, and it's nice. It helps. It creates a nice atmosphere, and they do clamber onto the stage, and usually they don't hang about very long. It's just it's things that they've experienced at a real Smiths or Morrissey gig, or they've seen
at the actual gigs. I think they just forget all the cynicism, and because we get a lot of you know, people are quite precious about the stuff and can't entertain the idea of a Smiths tribute at all. You know, the real purists don't like what we do, but that's a real minority.
I think it's important to play songs that are special to people, to keep playing them live. So yes, and of course we're playing music that was made about 25 years ago, so it's not that long ago. Although for some people it is. You know, there are people that weren't born yet that are coming to our gigs, for example, and are rediscovering or discovering the Smiths for the first time. Yeah. But of course in 100 years' time it will be even more interesting, because all the main players will have died probably. And yes, sure, it's more obvious to do it then, but I haven't got that long.
Actually meeting Morrissey is, understandably, an unforgettable moment for the superfans lucky enough to get the chance. So just how does a Smiths obsessive approach their big moment, and what would they say if they got another chance?
So the times I've met him like that, I've just been a gibbering wreck really, and I've said all the things you should never say to your heroes, like, I really love you, the last album was fantastic, you know, all the stupid things. But I mean, it's funny, I had eight hours and about 7 or 8 years to prepare for that meeting in '94, and all I could muster was, Morrissey, how are you doing? I mean, come on, it's pathetic.
I thank him, I suppose, and perhaps I would share some of the experiences of, you know, pass on the love, if you like, that people do express at our gigs. Pass it on to him, let him deal with it.
Morrissey fans, appropriately enough, have the same kind of passion and love for him as the subject of a Smiths song. For them, his music is the light that never goes out.
take me out.